Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a small tutorial for you, a couple of small tutorials. I've been asked if I would show how to make a lace cross for a bookmark. I've also been asked to show you how I made my little Mother's Day cards that I was inspired to make by Hazel's card for Easter. So we'll start off with the cross. Now I have made these crosses before, and this is the lace that I used for my original crosses, but as you can see I only have that one full piece left now. The idea is to choose any kind of lace that has some sort of a peak or something like that. As I'm going to use this one, this is Tresors Deluxe Beautiful Trim, and see how it has a peak down one end here. That will make it much easier to make a cross. And I'm just going to have a little play around and decide how I'm going to make this cross. You have to try, it could take a little bit of playing around to get the balance right. Okay, we have our piece here. I'm just going to trim that off. And we'll take that up like that. Tidy it up. Okay, so there's one piece there. I cut that off there. I don't know if that's going to affect it or not. Okay. Let's have a look. We need a couple more of the end pieces, and we don't need them to be too big, simply because we don't want our cross too big. We want it to be able to perhaps sit into an average size book. Okay. Just taking the ends off, as you can see. I just want those little point bits. That one can go there like that. That's looking okay. Now we need a top part. I may have to cut that little bit off there, seeing as it doesn't have one on the other side. Okay, so that like that, that like that, and another point. And of course all the pieces you're leaving can be used on other projects as well. So like that. Oh, okay, so now as you can see that's far too long. It looks kind of out of balance and weird, doesn't it? So we need to be taking, let's say, that flower off, because you want your cross to look pretty. Something like that. So the balance is getting a lot better there, isn't it? Yes, I think that could do nicely. Just like that. Okay. So there you go, that's the shape of a cross there. Okay, well I'm just going to cut another one of those because you need two the same, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we have two crosses now, the same. Next thing you need is a sheet of transparency. If you don't have transparency, you can use some packaging, the clear plastic on your packaging, just something that's got a little bit of weight to it to make your cross. So let's just move one over like that, put our cross down, and now all we're going to do is glue our cross And clean the top of my glue bottle. I'm actually using a fabric glue. I find this works well for a lot of different projects, and it dries quickly, which is basically what I want in this project. I need it to, dry quickly. Okay, so I'm just going to glue all the back of this, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've glued it all. I can't hang around too long with that. You need to find a space on your transparency. Now, remember, don't stretch your lace out of shape as you're doing it. Just lay it gently down, nice and straight. Always allow a bit for your crosses, your cross pieces to come out to the side also. So get that as straight as you possibly can. Glue down any little bits you may have missed. Make it nice and neat. Because there's always one that doesn't want to do as it's told. Okay. And we're going to do the same to the crossover, to the, the little pieces we're putting on the side like that. I'm going to do those. And it's the edges you want to make sure you've got the glue on, not so much the center, but the edges of your lace pieces need to have glue on them. Move it however you want it a bit, and then let it dry. I think that's looking alright. Like that. And then do the same over this side. Oh okay, that's our top piece, isn't it? Where's that one? That's that one there, like that. Have a look. Yep, that's it. So I'm just going to glue this and the top part on now, and I'll be back. Alright, so all my 4 pieces are glued on now, fairly straight. And so now what I'm going to do, just to make it a bit easier, I'm going to cut out my piece of transparency. I'm going to flip it over, and then we are going to be gluing the other side on, and we're going to match the pattern up exactly. So doing the back side, it's best to have a lace that is a one-way lace. Like, you don't want something curving to one side. Although when I did this one, it did have a slight, as you can see, the middle part here goes to one side like that. But when I did it, it didn't actually look too bad at all. Let me show you what I mean. See how it's curled that way, and on that side it's curled that way. So when you put it over, it didn't quite match up perfectly, but it was very, very close. This one should match up absolutely perfectly because it doesn't have that problem. Now this time around, you can actually, if you want to, you can put your glue onto the transparency and kind of go around the lines a bit at a time, perhaps. Don't need to do a whole lot. and line it up that way as you go down. Before it dries, which makes it, you know, a lot easier really. But, okay. Now see, that's lined up really nicely. You can't see it through the other side. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the rest of the cross, and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm just gluing the last piece on, and as you can see, I'm just using the end of my scissors to line things up as best I can, so they look the same from both sides before the glue dries. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to cut around it with these scissors. Like that. And although I said this was a bookmark, obviously this can be used for other things. It can be just a hanging decoration. You could make smaller ones at Christmas time to hang on your Christmas tree. And depending on the type of lace you're using, like that's a thicker lace, and this particular one, you know, it's a little bit more intricate, so that's going to give it a finer looking cross, and perhaps a smaller cross, you know, it would only come to there, than this one. So it's all depending on the lace you use. Now all you do is very carefully cut around your lace, just like fussy cutting paper. Careful not to, you know, cut the lace as you go around, and also careful not to leave any like pointy edges, because acetate can be a little bit sharp, so make sure you just round all your edges, and I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, so that's it, all cut out. As you can see a glimmer of the transparency between it, but that's okay. Now you can cut out a portion at the top if you want, or even those two there, and thread some ribbon through if you're wanting to use it for a book. Sorry, this is just the closest one. It fits in quite nicely, you know, it doesn't leave too much of a gap, so you don't really need ribbons hanging off it either. But okay, so that's my lace cross tutorial. Let's just move this out of the way, because now I'm going to show you how where is it? Where did I put it? How I made the little cards for Mother's Day, and I'm just looking for the paper. Just a moment. Okay, so I've decided to use this. It's a 6.5 paper pad by Craft. It's called Blue Bay, and I'm pretty sure Irene gave me that paper pad. Now, this is the little card Hazel sent me, and I think this was perhaps made by on a larger sheet of paper, but I made mine out of a small piece of paper. So all I did was, for the front part here, I just folded my paper in half, just corner to corner like that, opened it up, and did the same thing going the opposite way. You can use your bone folder if you want. Then I opened it up like that, sure both of them were folded like that. And then these two corners here I push together like that. And then just crease that. And then opposite I do exactly the same thing. I just piece them together. Crease them like that, so it's kind of like that. Alright, so it goes in like that. And then where is it? I'll actually use a paper trimmer here if I can. I usually use scissors, but let's get it neat and tidy. Where you've bent them in like that, we need to cut across there. So okay, so that's what we have. Well, that's how I did it. There's probably a much easier way to do it. Did that. Then I folded one back like that. Okay. And then I got another piece of paper like so. There's probably measurements, but I don't tend to do measurements very well. I just there, and so there. Let's see if I can see this one. Okay. So that one. And that one. And I just thread that in there like that, and that will be my stand on my card. So what we need to do now is just put some glue in here. I'll just use what I've got on hand because I just finished making the cross as well. Just, you don't need a lot, just go around the edge with your glue. And put that little piece in and fold it down like that. Smooth it out. You can see where I folded it over that side. And then you have a contrasting base on the front, like so. You could also put a contrasting little front piece on it if you wanted as well. Look at me using my trimmer. You can tell I don't get it out very often. It's just easier to use scissors half the time, I think. Especially seeing this light. Okay. That. And that's that. So if we got that about at the right size, we could put that on the front just to coordinate a little bit. Use your tape runner or whatever you want to put it on. And now I'm just going to put a lovely flower from my Tresors Deluxe laces That should fit on there, like that. Yeah. It's pretty, isn't it? It's a really nice trim, this one. You could make some really nice flower bases and things from it. Just going around the edge so it doesn't flop all over the place. And center it, like so. And then I was going to put a lovely little flower on the front as well. Let's see how this looks. Like that. I think that's pretty. Yeah. So there we go. And there's our card. They're really simple to make, aren't they? And of course, if you could use a double-sided piece of paper, and if it was patterned on the back, just cut out a piece of paper like I did for the front and put it there to write on. Because this is blank, I could put a long note in there, I could put a note down here, or I can put a note there. That'll be great for just a little gift card, or perhaps a birthday card, thank you card, anything like that, really. Oh look, I could put those on there too, couldn't I? Those little flowers from my last little project there. Or I had the little small off-cut ones as well. I could put those on the side there. I kind of like it plain though. So they're rather pretty, aren't they? Let's just give that a trim, a haircut. That wasn't very good. So that one, and I thought there's another one here as well from my cross. And put that, okay. Watch those glue strings. And that one. Goes like that. Do we need something on there, I think? Oh, goodness. Okay. What can we put on there? Little bead. So we have pink pearls and rhinestones in the middle of that flower. So I'm thinking... Okay, I've got purple flowers here. I don't really use purple a great deal, so I'm just going to trim. I know probably a lot of you be going, oh, I'm just going to ruin the flower. Thing is, I'm not ruining the flower. Oh, yes I am. I can glue it back together, but it's purple and I probably won't use a purple flower. So I'm going to use what I can off it. It's fairly early in the morning. People are going to work. So my kids are still in bed because they're on their school break. That's pretty, we could do that. Not too much, just pretty, isn't it? Too much glue though. I'll share it, get rid of the string. In the center. There we go. It's rather pretty. There we go. A little bit of sparkle. When it lays down it looks like that. Just need to make myself a little envelope for it. Yeah, I think that's pretty. You could have even put like a little perhaps daisy flower. I'm just thinking that not that one. Where's the other one? Okay, still got the map from the other day. Perhaps with my offcuts. Oh, my punches are so old. Look, that didn't even go through. There we go. I wonder if that might look pretty like that. Oh, that looks pretty. Yeah. Oh, yep. I'll do that. No, we're even using these bits, aren't we? Okay. And the glue is still wet enough. There, yeah, that's pretty. It's very cottagey, isn't it? There you go. So there's my simple card. Does it need anything else? I don't think it does. It's really quite pretty. It is. Yeah, I'm happy. I think I'm happy with that. I mean, if you wanted, you could put a little bit of lace around the edge of here and even there if you wanted to, but I think that's quite pretty just the way it is. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you like my 2 little tutorials. Take care, everybody. Bye.